Welcome everybody to our Gen 4 race here at Talladega. This is one of four races remaining before we get to the playoffs. I'm going to be joined in the booth by the great analytical mastermind, the crew chief himself, Hunter Davis, and the guy behind the controls getting you those beautiful camera angles and everything, Damon O'Brien. Hunter, how you doing today?
I am doing great back here at Talladega in the Gen 4 series. Well, first off, we hope everybody out there watching had a great Thanksgiving, enjoyed their week off, spending time with friends or family, or whoever you choose to surround yourself with. But now we are back into the points battle here at Talladega.
Yes, sir. It's going to be an interesting one. This is a wild card race. You can't go in here with a set strategy because things can change drastically. So they got to adapt on the fly. I went out and practiced a little bit in these cars. A two-car tandem in these things, super strong. So that's going to play an effect towards the end of this race. I'm excited to see how it's go. Let's get our starting lineup popped up on the grid for you. Hunter, go ahead and get us that starting lineup. Oh, never mind. I'm doing on in lineup. Sorry, I mistaked myself. We're starting on pole. We've got Sean Boundy in that number 42, and then Max Dinda in the 48. Next, we got Kenneth Passmore in the 72. He's going to be starting P3 with Albert Williams starting in P4. Ryan Godfrey, a recent winner in these cars, is going to be starting P5. Mark Holloway is going to be bringing it home in P6. Then we've got Danny Passmore. He's in the 65 in the 7th place position. Matthew Tennant, Beer Run Racing, going to be starting 8th. Next up, we've got Ryan Frank, that amazing driver right there, making his first start, P9. Todd Perrant, the guy third in points in P10. Then we've got David Hickey. He's going to be starting in the 11th place position. Thomas Long, the guy sitting in 10th, the last car in the playoffs, is going to be P12. Next, we got Gary Bergeron. He is in the 1 car starting P13. Then we've got Jamie Howell, our TRN racing driver, in P14. Jonathan Geis, Jamie Howell's teammate's going to be P15. They're going to be pretty close to each other, with Sean Dion, Ratfink Racing, going to be in that P16 position. And we got Tom Ringer, the leader of Ratfink. He's in P17. Chris Wagner, he's going to be in that 18th place position. Then we've got Brandon Hinton, the guy's second in points. He's in P19. Next to Jeff Dinda, the surprise winner in Legacy Trucks a couple weeks ago, in P20. And we've got John Crosby. He's going to be bringing up that rear position, and he's going to be starting from the furthest position in the back.
You know, looking at, we did have a couple of cars that did not qualify or were unable to complete their laps for qualifying. 63 of Craig Knoll will be gridding off in 23rd, and the 204 of Richard Young starting in 24th. One thing I want to talk about, look at who qualified on our pole position. The 42 of Sean Bounty. Sean was mainly a road course racer. He won 2 separate series in an LMP car and a GT3 car, and is out here qualified on the pole here tonight in the Gen 4 series.
Yeah, he's really showing that he's got skill sets that cross all forms of racing, and that's going to be a scary thing. Now, currently, he is mathematically outside the playoffs, but if he, for some reason, went on a 3-race winning streak, that might be something different. Speaking of the playoffs, Hunter, let's talk about that while they continue this last pace lap. We're going to get our producer to bring that up on the screen. Currently, right now, our points leader is Jordan Tross, but he is not in attendance here today. What do you think about this current picture here, Hunter?
I think that Tross is probably locked in. He pretty much just needs to finish. We got 4 races left in the regular season. We're going to run a couple more races here in the next 2 weeks. We're going to take a couple weeks off for the holidays, allow people to spend time with their family, and then we're going to start the new year off with the final 2 races before we kick off the playoffs. So I think Tross is in a pretty set position, as well as Brandon Hinton. Both of them, pretty much as long as they show up, they're going to be locked in. Todd Perrant, Matthew Tennant, Gary Bergeron. I mean, all of those guys right there next to each other within a 5-point differential for that third place position of the regular season. So I think it's going to be an interesting, but let's talk about some of the guys below the cut line. 14 points off, 20 points off, 22, 23, 28. All those guys are right there on the cusp. We don't give stage points, so they're going to have to race their way up to the front and have a solid finish here.
And those dudes could do it tonight, technically. If it's a bad finish from anybody from the 6th position down to 10th, and those guys finish up front, that's enough points differential to get you up there. So everybody's going to be paying attention to this wild card race. They're going to want to keep their cars clean. They're going to want to protect their equipment, because this can derail a championship run right here.
You absolutely said it right. A wild card race as we're ready to kick off the race here at Talladega. 42 of Sean Bounty is going to lead this field into the restart zone to get us under green flag racing.
Yeah, so he gets the green flag here, and he's going to get a decent jump separating from the car behind him, but Max Dinda stays with Albert Williams. And look at that, early on, not even much draft to be had right now, but as you see, Max is getting shoved right around that 42 right now.
Now, it's going to be interesting because these cars don't do well in the draft. We're running the Super Speedway package here in the Gen 4, but these cars do not like to close the gap at all. So as soon as you get to that rear bumper, it's not like you would see in the trucks or the Xfinity or the next gen where you can actually push. There's more of like an aero push with these. It's not necessarily like a physical bumper contact push.
Plus, this Super Speedway car was designed to allow the bumpers to line up, but it still doesn't 100% line up. The rear bumper has a weird bulge in it on some of these Chevys, and the front bumper is smooth, so that can cause some issues too. But Max is actually going to take the lead from Sean Bounty, and he's going to lead the first lap of this race.
Yeah, very, very tight squeeze there on the bottom line. 42 may have had to check up a little bit, which caused that inside line to check up, and that's going to open the door for that 18 car on the top lane to slowly build that momentum of that high line.
It's almost like we're about to see 3 lead changes in under 2 laps. Technically, we have, as the 18 has cleared him, but here comes the 48. He's battling back, trying to prevent loss of that position.
56 of Mark Holloway able to lock those bumpers up. It looks like they were clearing to 3. 18 is for sure clear. Let's see where Albert Williams chooses to go here on the exit of turn number 4.
I think he personally did a smart decision right there. He decided not to abandon the guy pushing him. I think that's a smart decision. Hang out with the guy who's helping you out. So, and it's gonna maybe bite him here as he doesn't lead the lap, but he knows he's got somebody he can trust behind him.
Yeah, now Mark Holloway in that 56 car has to start playing it a little bit safe. You see he's getting a little off center to that rear bumper of the 18 car, which is allowing, as the 18 dips to the bottom line in front of the 59 of Matthew Tennant. But the main point I wanted to bring up is we need to keep these pushes center. Oh, man, the 65 is around single car spin. No caution yet. Only one car involved. Down on the apron. Looks like safely away from the track as that car is destroyed. Looks like he may have to tow. That left front wheel is no longer attached to that vehicle.
He's still in motion, but he's definitely going to go at least a lap or 2 down right now. But it's early on in the race, so he has time to bounce back for that situation. We also have Craig Knoll, who's completely separated from the field. He's got no help out there right now. He's by himself. Same with Jeff Dinda. He's barely hanging onto the coattails of 2 cars in front of him.
Keep an eye on the 65 car of Kenneth Passmore, or Danny Passmore, sorry. He has still not made it back into the pits. That left front wheel dragging the ground as the field is slowly starting to reel him in as he is just now off the exit of turn number 4 as the leaders enter 3.
Yeah, it's going to take him a while. He's definitely going at least 2 laps down here. If he hits there, he can use his fast repair, and then he can get right back out and hopefully preserve it just being those 2 laps. But he's definitely going to get caught by the field and go 2 laps down as he's going 1 lap down now.
Caught him now. And looking at our field, it looks like we had a group that elected to deviate from the pack. You have the 204 of Richard Young. You got the 77 of Ryan Frank, and the 84 of the Green Machine and Dad Dinda has elected to deviate from that lead pack and has created a second group.
Currently, right now up front, we do have them all single file, except for Mark Holloway, who's kind of hung out to dry, running in a further back position. Mark Holloway's sitting P6, P8 right now, but he's kind of out there by himself. But he's got a little help now, so let's see if he can bounce back from this situation. But it seems like the outside line has completely died off now.
I think we're going to see a lot of this race be ran single file. Like I was saying, these cars don't do extremely well in the draft. It's very hard to use the draft to your advantage. So I think we're going to see a lot of these guys single filed out. It's going to be very, very difficult to make passes.
Oh, interesting development here. Thomas Long, the guy who is on the cut line, for some reason is on pit road getting some tires.
iRacing black flagged him due to connection issues, and that is what sent him to the pits.
Ah, now that's the stuff that can derail a championship run. Remember, he is the guy right on the cut line. The next guy in front of him is Jonathan Geis, who's currently rolling around in the P8 position, and he's doing what he needs to do right now.
Yeah, Jonathan Geis gridded from the back of the field, but has slowly made his way up, running up there in the 8th place position, trying to find out who his dancing partner is going to be for this race, as he is just ticking off the laps behind that 70 machine of David Hickey.
He's got two really good super speedway drivers who know how to maintain a line, know how to push and lead a line right behind him of Todd Perrant, second in points, and Jerry Bergeron, who is 5th in points right now. So he's got some good guys who know how to manage their stuff, know how to make it to the end of a race. So he's in good company right now.
A little further development, another pack has now separated off in the field, being led by the 68 of Tom Ringer. You have the 3 of Sean Dion, the 5 of Brandon Hinton, 73 of Crosby in that pack, 57 of Chris Wagner trying to catch up. Jamie Howell back there as well. Looks like a few more guys have elected to separate from this pack, as Thomas Long is now going to be passed by that group.
Yeah, Thomas Long is going in entirely the wrong direction right now. This is not what he wants, but he's doing the right thing. He's holding a bottom line, which forces the cars to move up around him, which is going to allow him to catch that draft to speed up and cycle into that group. So he is protecting himself right now, but he is, in fact, 3 laps down.
Now, we were just talking about how these cars don't handle in the draft. Look at the 69 of Todd Perrant, currently running back there in the 9th place position. He's maybe a few tenths, I'd say about 5 to 6 car lengths off the car in front of him, where he should be safe in the draft theoretically. However, in these Gen 4 cars, he is not. That is a very difficult position. Looks like he's going to lose the draft of the lead pack.
Yeah, he's going to fall back in the clutches of Jerry again, as well as Mark Holloway, another guy who was up front. So now he gets to lead this group, as that group of 3 is going to pull back into Tom Ringer's group. But Tom Ringer's group actually decides, hey, we're going to go to the top side. Never mind, just Tom Ringer decided that.
Looks like Tom Ringer did, and that is going to sacrifice a few positions, as he has no assistance on the outside line. He's now going to fall to the rear end of that second pack. Looking at our lead pack, Jonathan Geis is the last car on the lead pack behind the 70 of David Hickey, but it looks like something similar is happening to him. He doesn't have a car behind him, and look how much of a gap he's growing to the car in front of him.
It's almost like if you're the last person in the line, the rest of the pack pulls away from you, which causes you to lose the draft. We just saw it with Todd Perrant. It looks like it's beginning to happen to Geist here. And then the next person on that chopping block would be David Hickey, but they might be saved from that because we got the 59 of Tenet trying to pass the 72 right now. A double file situation.
Looks like that high line is slowly starting to form. 59 of Tenet's going to go up there, along with the 6 of Ryan Godfrey, and the 70 of David Hickey is going to start this outside line. That's going to bring the bottom line down to 5 cars. Let's see who can have the momentum here.
Huge separation between Max Dinda and the 72 of Passport. Now that they have this separation, it's going to be a battle of just that group while that lead group moves away. But that also puts Max in a bad position, because look at him. He's pulling away from the 18. He is starting to fall back.
Yeah, those guys going double wide are pulling the air off of each other and slowly slowing down that pack. I suspect we might see the rear pack start to form back up and catch them. Last time by a 51 5.53 in the center of the pack. Looking back, let's see if we can find Tom Ringer with a 51.6. So about similar. They're about 0.4 slower than that pack in front of them. Max Dinda with a little bit of indecisiveness there. He ducked up high like he was going to dart in front of the 59 attendant. Elects to go back to the bottom, kills the momentum of that bottom line, or top line.
You know, I'm noticing with these Gen 4 cars, they don't handle like the other NASCAR vehicles that be on the draft, like the Xfinity car, the truck, the next gen, any of those ones. It's almost like these cars are heavily dependent on being able to compensate for, oh, the 59 moves up as the 70 almost bobs into him, but they need to compensate for the air bubble, and it's a lot harder. While in the next gen or the next gen or the truck or the Xfinity car, you don't have to compensate that much. You have the reliability of being within a second of somebody, knowing it's going to pull you up there.
As you look, the 70 of David Hickey has a slight gap. Let's see if he's able to close this to her leader. Looking at here, you can just see how big of a differential there is between these three packs that have separated themselves.
Jonathan Geis did not move off the bottom when those two groups got to battling side by side, and he just went from P8 to P5, and he's the last car in the lead pack right now. He's got to make sure he doesn't lose them now.
That rear pack is losing the formation that they had, having about a 4 or 5 car length gap in between each car. I think we're going to see them start to lose this lead pack draft.
Jonathan
Yep,
Geis
last time by, that second pack is 0.5 slower than our lead pack. They have definitely lost that draft.
Yeah, it looks like those top 5 are separating themselves. The last thing that group wants in this 80-lap race is a caution right now. As we have 68 laps to go, they definitely do not want a caution popping up right now.
And just look at the gap that has grown to those cars, 3 cars that were just with them 1 lap prior, and they're now back a very significant amount, almost 3 seconds.
Yeah, every group is completely separated out into this big gap. So, oh, Thomas Long getting a little loose in front of Jamie Howell. I was watching back there. Kind of stacked up his group back there, causing somebody to have to jump out of line. These guys are definitely not just battling the track and not just battling each other. They're battling the air pretty hard right now, and it is not working out, as Chris Wagner has lost the group. We've also got Craig Knoll, who has lost it. A bunch of guys have lost their ability to be with the draft and are currently circling the track by themselves.
Speaking of Craig Knoll, if I'm not mistaken, he is right in front of the leaders by about a half of a turn. I suspect we'll see this lead pack bypassing Craig Knoll within the next 2 laps.
Now, Craig Knoll is not in that playoff battle right now. As of right now, the guys who are dancing around the cut line, you've got Jonathan Geis, who's up in P5. Then you have Thomas Long, who is now 3 laps down in 22nd. That's going to be a change of position.
Sorry to cut you off here, but I mean, look at this view from the back end of Craig Knoll's car. Look at the speed that this lead pack has in reference to him not having any draft. Now, they are just absolutely blowing by him.
They are taking him by storm, but look how he's starting to stabilize his speed. By being on that bottom line, it's kind of a great defensive move. If you stay on the bottom line and force them to move up around you, you eventually catch the draft with them because they start towing you while they're trying to avoid you.
Craig Knoll is about 3 mph slower than draft speed. It looks like he has caught the draft and is staying in the draft of that lead pack. Now, lucky for him, that will put him as the first car 1 lap down should a caution come out.
I hear these guys talking about pitting. They're talking about their fuel strategy right now.
Looking back at the second pack back here, these guys are slowly getting formed up and ironing it out, as they have about 10 cars in one pack. And hearing over the radio, these guys only have about 8 laps of fuel remaining. So we're about to see our first round of green flag stops underway. Hearing these guys strategize it out, they're trying to extend the fuel run, but it doesn't sound like everybody's on the same page here. They're trying to extend, but not everybody has enough fuel in that lead pack. So they're trying to iron out which lap they're going to hit the pits on. Looking back at our second group is about 1 mile an hour faster than the front group. Last time by our race leader with a 52.205. The pack behind them with Matthew Tennant, a 51.6. That is 0.6 of a lap faster per lap. This pack is slowly starting to run them down. However, now they are looking 2 and 3 wide, and that is going to hurt them even more.
You know, Hunter, this has been a very interesting race. I did not expect them to separate like this. I thought we'd have a lot of grouped up pack racing, but as of right now, Sean Bounty's just comfortably in the lead with Albert Williams running P2, Max Denda, then we have Kenneth Passmore and Jonathan Geist still there. He's with them, but Passmore moves up a little high, which allows Geist to get really close, and he creates a gap. I think he's trying to make a run. He's trying to get some kind of leverage to pull up to those guys.
Last time by, the lead pack 0.4 of a second slower than our second pack. If we look in the cockpit of our 6th place driver, the 59 of Matthew Tennant, they are starting to reel in this pack very, very quickly. Watch whenever he comes out of the straight, you'll see the rear end of that lead pack.
Yeah, it's good that they're starting to get closer. They're trying to make a run at them. The 2 guys at the front of that pack with Matthew Tennant, he's got his teammate of Ryan Godfrey right behind him. So they're probably communicating a strategy of how to maximize their draft, maximize their speed, and get up towards that lead pack.
I mean, just looking at the speed that last lap, that rear pack was getting upwards of 187 to 188 mile an hour. Even on the straightaways, our front pack is hitting about 185, 184.
You know, I'm actually kind of excited about this race. I thought it would be another draft fest where we're, you know, biting our nails, seeing when they'll put oh, we got massive amount of pit stops happening right now. Massive amount of pit stops. I just saw a bunch of guys on pit road. Let's go back to that.
A lot of Ratfink. We got a beer run driver in there. We got Hinton Motorsports on the pits. Looks like not all of them, though, as the Green Machine Dad Denda elected to stay out. We do, however, have 5 cars that have pit this lap, and we got more cars calling out.
Yeah, we got Mark Holloway, Todd Perrant, Brandon Hinton, John Crosby, Sean Dion, Tom Ringer, all on pit road, but a lot of them missed their pit stalls. A lot of them slid through it, but they stay together as a group, so that's going to help.
We got another group coming. Sorry to cut you off. The 59, the 6, the 70, and the 1 all hitting pits right now, along with the 63 of Craig Knoll currently running a few laps down.
Something's going on with the 56 of Mark Holloway. He is still on pit road. I wonder what could have potentially caused this, but he has been there for a while.
Mark Holloway currently sitting 1 lap down, and there he goes off of the pits.
I think he might have been repairing some damage.
Our lead pack still out here running strong, led by the 42 of Sean Bounty.
When do you think the leaders will come in? Sean Bounty has probably been out there, probably half throttle or something like that, to try and preserve his fuel levels. But I hear Max Dinda, part of that group, saying, pit this time, pit this time. Sean Bounty says 10-4. So I think the lead group is coming down this time by.
It looks like they're slowly starting to run down some cars in front. These guys have definitely set themselves up for success. The only thing that might hurt them is if this second pack can get formed up and get back up to speed quicker, then they can get off the pits. They're calling out their braking zones to try to avoid contact. 42 of Sean Bounty says he's going to brake high. He's going to stay high in the braking zone. I have a feeling we're going to see a really staggered pit stop here.
Yeah, one thing I learned running super speedway races, a lot of people consider the leader of the group is supposed to stay as far right as he could, while the rest dive to the left side. That's not seeming like what it is. Look at Jonathan Geist coming in there hot on his trails. Might have been a speeding penalty there.
I think that may be a speeding penalty. I'm not for sure.
He came on the radio and said he messed up, so let's see if he has a speeding penalty, which will result in a hold, if I'm not mistaken.
Definitely difficult for him to get up to speed. Let's see if he's being held. Not 100% for sure. If he is being held, this is significantly going to hurt that lead pack, as Geist is still in the pits. Looks like probably serving a black flag. This is going to really, really hurt him.
Yeah, I think he's serving a 40-second hold for speeding on pit road. And that could potentially be what Mark Holloway was also doing, but he came in hot. He was moving. It's unfortunate because he was running really well today.
Sorry to cut you off here. 69 of Todd Perron is currently running in the 5th place position. These guys are doing 181 mile an hour. Looking at Kenneth Passmore, the last car in 4th of that lead pack, who is slowly starting to lose that draft of everybody. These guys did not exit the pits together. Max Dinda and the 48, the 18 of Albert Williams, and the 42 of Sean Bounty have stayed together. However, they are being caught pretty quickly.
And this is the problem when you're working with people who, per se, aren't on your team or that you can't 100% communicate with. You can't time things. You can't plan these things out in advance. People just have to go with the flow, and I think the lead group got bit by that bullet more than anybody else, as they came in as a group of 5 and they're now only out there as a group of 3. So they really felt the brunt of that, but they are catching a group in front of them. So let's see if they can use the draft of the group in front of them to maintain their lead.
Now, Jonathan Geist got extremely lucky being up there with that lead pack. He did not lose a lap. However, he is about 7 seconds from going 1 lap down.
Yeah, and he is not with anyone. He is out there by himself completely, and he has dropped all the way down to the P14 position. So he is definitely hurt pretty bad right now. But we have multiple cars a lap down, which include Mark Holloway, Matthew Tendant, Jeff Dinda, Craig Knoll, all 1 lap down right now.
Now, as these guys are slowly starting to get formed up, we're going to step away to a quick side-by-side break to keep you guys involved in the action, and we will be right back.
Mom, can I have a popsicle?
No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey parents, tired of those out-of-control kids? Throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go. At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing Nap Time, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to Nap Time. It's never been so quiet around here.
the secret lies in Naptime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, Naptime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! Naptime works in any situation. On the golf course. An awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
After we had our first child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to nap time, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of Naptime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more! Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't read.
And welcome back after that quick side-by-side break as our lead pack has now caught the first set of lap cars. The lead pack staying high, but the lap cars not making it easy on them. They're actually going to take away the favored lane and the drive from these guys and fall right back in behind them. Now that is going to cycle up a bit of things. Jonathan Geis, who was up there in that lead pack, ended up falling to the very rear. He will not be the first car a lap down, as the 77 is now the first car of lap down, and that would be the Ryan Frank in that 77. Oh, contact between the 57 and the 70 is there now, 3 wide. This is, oh, more contact. These guys are beating and banging off of each other. Our first yellow of the night sounds like the 59 of Matthew Tennant, saying he is dead on the exit of turn 2 and unable to get this car rolling. Oh, as you see there, he clips the apron and just slingshots up into that outside retaining wall. Massive, massive impact for that 59 machine. Thankfully, it looked like our leaders right behind him that were not able to be involved.
First caution of the night, man. That's crazy to have that happen.
And after that caution, these guys are stepping away. We're going to step away to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
This looks great. This must be yours. I found it on the kitchen table.
Thanks.
Mommy, have you seen my hamster?
Well, isn't he asleep in his cage?
Have you seen my hamster then?
No. But honey, go upstairs and look thoroughly. I mean, sure. Probably behind the bed like where you found him last time.
Okay.
Ship my pants? Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed. If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
Anybody home?
In here.
Whoa, Jenny, is your sister home?
No. But I'm here.
Congratulations. You passed the test.
A test?
I put my sister up to it.
Oh, Jake. You do love me.
And welcome back after that quick break, as we have one car elected to stay out. The 72 of Kenneth Passmore did not hit. The 42 of Sean Bounty is going to restart on the outside in second, and he did pit from there on back. So a bit of a mix-up here in the front. We had a bit of a shakeup. We had a few more cars that elected to stay out the first go-round and then came back in and pitted. Those guys fell to the rear end of the leaders. So they're going to be restarting from the middle of the pack. Currently running, we have about 10 cars a lap down. Jeff Dinda and that green machine being the first car 1 lap down. Here we go into the restart zone. 72 of Kenneth Passmore is going to lead us back to the green flag as these guys get stacked back up. Good restart on that outside lane by the 42 of Sean Bounty, but he looks like he has no help to the rear from that 18 machine of Albert Williams. Inside line's going to have the advantage here to turn 1 as the 48 of Max Dinda is now trying to lock bumpers with the 72 of Passmore. The rest of the field starting to single file out. Looks like we have about 4 cars up there in that high lane. 3 of them are running within the top 10, and those guys are slowly starting to lose positions on the outside lane. 42 of Bounty not having any luck. He's going to try to find a spot at the bottom, but the 68 of Tom Ringer is going to shut the door and not let him in. Now, this outside lane's in a pretty bad position. If they can't find any momentum, they're going to slowly drop back. As the inside line is pretty much filed out, the 4th car on the outside line has now fallen to the rear end of the field and is no longer in the picture, as it looks like the 1 of Gary Bergeron is struggling to get his way back up. 70 of David Hickey looking to take it 3 wide, elects to go back to the bottom. .42 of Bounty losing another position to the 68 of Tom Ringer as he's still not able to find a gap to get down to the bottom. They're going to be 2 wide side by side with only 1 car behind him, that 18 car of Albert Williams. Looks like somebody was trying to get up there but elected not to go. Still 2 cars on the outside. You have a 3rd car about 10 car lengths behind them that is providing no help. Looks like the 18 of Albert Williams is going to get to the bottom. Let's see if he makes room for that 42 machine to come down with him. And he does. We are now single file all the way back through the top 10. Now that was a perfect example of how well teammates can work together. The 18 of Albert Williams saw an opportunity to get to the bottom. He took it, and then he made room for the 42 of Bounty to come down in front of him so the teammates can stay together and they don't significantly lose some positions. As we are now 100% all the way out through this field single file. Looks like at the very end of the lead pack, Mark Holloway was looking to the high lane. Nobody behind him to help as we are single file. .42 of Sean Bounty had a taste of that lead, and he wants it back. Starting to get that high line rolling again. Teammate 18 Albert Williams going to go with him, as well as the 70 of David Hickey. Doesn't look like anybody else is interested. 59 of Matthew Tennant, about 10 car lengths behind them, is going to go to the high side, but it doesn't look like they're gonna maintain the draft. 3 more cars coming up high. The 59 of Matthew Tennant with the 56 of Mark Holloway are gonna come up to that high line. Still too far back to utilize that draft, as our outside lane up front is slowly conceding positions to that inside line. Looks like the 204 of Richard Young and the 32 of Jonathan Geis have lost the draft on the lead pack. They're trying to figure out a way to work together to maintain it. Both of those guys elected to stay out under the caution and take the waiver round so that they could get their lap back. However, they're significantly slower than this lead pack, so they're going to need a caution here momentarily to make something happen.
We are almost halfway in this race, and we have a complete change of action and everything, Manhunter. This has been a very interesting one. Sean Bounty and Albert Williams, who led for most of this race, are down in the P6, P8 positions.
Yeah, they're trying to get the movement happening, but there's nobody, and I mean nobody, in the vicinity of them that is willing to go to that high lane to try to make it work. And they're I hate to say it, but they're not going to be able to make 2 cars work on that high lane against a fully stacked inside line.
Yeah, it looks like the inside line has just decided, hey, we're not going up there yet. This is not the time. We're going to have 42 laps to go here as they cross the start-finish line. And those guys just, nobody wants to move up there with them. Maybe Matthew Tennant, he's poking out towards the back. Maybe he could, as long as the car behind him also goes with him. But as of right now, they're just hung out to dry.
As we're nearing the halfway point, I think we're going to see the aggression levels start to pick up a tad. I don't think we're going to see a lot of guys that are going to be trying to make this high line work. You know, I think we're going to see a lot of guys just trying to tick the laps off until we hit this next green flag cycle.
We got a couple guys who are stuck a lap down, who are up in that group, such as Jeff Dinda and Craig Knoll. They are up there with them. So they're just kind of playing the kind of devil's advocate right now. They want their lap back, but at the same time, they're preventing any of these other guys from being able to move right now.
Looks like they're getting a little more help on that outside line. The 70 of David Hickey is going to pull up behind the 18, and that's going to give the draft to the 59 of Matthew Tennant and the 1 and allow them to form up, as the outside line is now with a full head of steam trying to go side by side, as we did have a lead change that we missed as well. 48 of Max Dinda was able to get around the 72 of Passmore, but it doesn't look like Passmore's Max is going to go up high to block. Looks like they clear him on the outside lane
right now. Max, him doing that pass stacked up the inside line, then he jacked up the outside line, but the outside line gathered it up better than the inside, and now we're seeing Sean Bounty potentially going back to the front right now.
Yeah, that definitely hurt the momentum on the inside line, but it doesn't look like Max has the dancing partner to maintain side by side. Doesn't look like the 72 of Passmore is able to get it, as Max is now almost looking 3 wide. He's trying to side draft the 42, as the 42 and the 18 are going to clear. That's going to leave the 70 of Hickey to lead that outside line.
Now, the person hurt the most by this, and I want to bring it back to the points real quick, is going to be Sean Dion. He's currently 51 points outside of the cut line. If he was able to be in front and possibly win this race, this would be an interesting shakeup for him. But because he just got cycled back pretty hard, the job just got even harder for him.
Outside line, still trying to hold momentum. The 84 Green Machine of Dad Dinda trying to get up there in the mix, but he's too far back from that outside line to be able to close that gap. He's going to have to start nickel and diming away at some positions as that inside lane is closing in on him. Looks like he's going to start falling back here.
I just want to point out that Jerry Bergeron is probably in the worst position right now, as he is in the P5 position running that outside line. He is towards the front of the field. Actually, he's not in P5, just dropped back more. But the two guys in front of him, David Hickey's 1 lap down, Matthew Tennant's 3 laps down. So he's got really no true help. Those guys could drive hard, get towards the front, get laps back. Yes, that is a potential of something happening, but it also puts them at risk because they have to drive harder to do that situation. 72 Passmore on the apron.
Yeah, there's going to be really no significant benefit to the those guys getting their lap backs. And the one of Bergeron, you know, if let's say the 70 and the 59 do clear that inside line, that's going to leave him the only car on the outside line. '72 of Passmore elected to drop out of the mix. Not for sure if that was by choice or if he's having some technical issues going on, as he's still just driving around on the apron at about 130 mile an hour. So not for sure what's going on with that 72 machine of Passmore. However, he is significantly off pace.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way down to 160 miles per hour, but it looks like he's picked up the speed again. I'm pretty sure the other Passmore is like his brother or something. Maybe he is just, he decided that he didn't want to be a part of this anymore, and he's fallen out. But another guy, Jonathan Geis, is stuck back there with Richard Young, but Richard Young is not able to keep locked up with Geis. So Geis is just feeling the pain of his position while Sean Boundy gets to continue leading this race.
Just got word from Kenneth Passmore and said his screen had froze up. He was able to maintain out of everybody and all the way around the track. So good job for him of keeping it out in front of the field.
I personally had that happen, and it is extremely hard to do that. So he deserves all the kudos there is right now. That is a tough thing to do, to maintain that car. Another guy I want to point out who's just now cracked the top 5 for the first time tonight, and we haven't talked about him a lot, Jamie Howell, up to the P5 position right now.
Yeah, he's been slowly cruising around in the back. He was a part of the backpack and has worked his way up. I do want to point out the 70 of Hickey, the 59 of Matthew Tennant are both racing for the lucky dog position. They are both currently 1 lap down, trying to get it back.
Yeah. Well,
or sorry,
Tennant 3 laps down.
Apologies, yes, Tennant is 3 laps down.
You're good, brother. And then Jamie Howell, he's one of the original people in DES. You know, he ran here early on in the Season 1, Season 2 era. He's actually a previous truck champion in the DES time. He's made his return back. He was gone for a while. So good to see him running strong right now. But the competition has definitely changed from when he ran to now. So he's going to really have to work hard for this race right now, because Sean Dion's not an easy guy to pass, and those front 3 have made sure everybody knew that they are the strong cars today. Speaking
of which, if you're interested in racing with us, you can head on over to racedes.com RaceDES.com. We're currently in the mix. Our road course series just ended. We're currently trying to create a new road course series, maybe a little bit of a mixture, but something different that you guys are interested in hopping in. We were in the Gen 4s on Fridays. We were in 2 separate truck series on Saturdays, a Legacy and Premier truck. Premier being invite only, and Next Gens on Sundays. So if you're interested in racing with us, you can head on over to RaceDES.com to hop in the Discord and see us out here on the track.
I know you and me both would love to see more competition, as tomorrow in the truck races, where I believe the Legacy is going to Kentucky. I don't know where Premier is going. It's just not off the top of my head, but both those are spicing up with their potential, championship battles as well. They're going to be good battles. So we'd love to see more people coming in here, spicing up the battles, making some more excitement, gaining a position in Premier. We want to see our fields fill.
The Legacy will be going to Kentucky. Premier will be going to Kansas, and the Next Gen on Sunday will be at Chicagoland.
Oh my gosh, I need to place in the top 3 of Legacy, because I would love to run Kansas with you Premier guys.
A lot of cycles here. 84 of Jeff Denda coming down the pits. He is currently 1 lap down. I think he stayed out to get a lap back and is going to have to pit off cycle.
I wonder where Sean Boundy's fuel is looking, what he's doing to protect himself so that he's not having to pit way earlier than the rest of them. Because when you're behind a car on the super speedway, you have the opportunity to pedal the throttle, half throttle, clutch in, all these things to save fuel. But when you're the leader, you pretty much have to be pedal to the metal, because if you try to lift and try and save fuel, you can stack up and potentially cause an issue you don't want to see. So I'm very curious where his fuel is sitting right now.
So I know Geist and them during that last caution had stayed out while the rest of everybody else pitted. So I think they're only going to be maybe a handful of laps shy. I want to say maybe 5 to 10 laps or so.
How long is the fuel run? Did you get that information yet?
I do not know. However, Sean Bounty currently running 19 consecutive laps. Jonathan Geist on 24. So I suspect we'll be seeing pits here within the next, like I said, 5 to 10 laps.
And if we do see those pits within that time period, that will be their final pit stop till the end of the race. If 24 laps is the max they can go, and they take 10 laps to come into pit road, they are good till the end. So
just heard over the radio 48 of Max Denda at 10.8 laps of fuel. So we'll be seeing them roughly by lap 60. These guys could make it on one more stop.
John Boundy, lap 56 is as far as he can go.
Now, there's going to be some interesting strategy here. Everybody's out here racing for this win. So the 48 of Max Denda, if some other cars are able to stay out, he could theoretically stay out and try to cycle the 42 and the 18 off cycle.
That's it. It has helped to do it, because if he ends up out there by himself, the loss of speed from going by yourself will counteract the advantage that he could potentially get by outcycling them. So a lot of strategy at play right now as they are catching lap cars of Jeff Denda. He is in front of them. They've also got Craig Knoll in the 63. He's also up there.
Those lap cars are going to stay to the inside line and force everybody to the middle, as we're going to see that everybody slowly start cycling around.
Now, Jeff Denda's in a great position. Jeff Denda is currently sitting 8th in points, plus 23 above the cut line. If he can ensure a good running position above some of these other guys, he's going to maintain that spot. But as of right now, as they run, I definitely see Thomas Long potentially dropping out, and maybe even Jonathan Geist.
.23 of Thomas Long coming in this time. He's going to be solo. That one is going to hurt him whenever he exits the pits without a dancing partner. as the lap traffic thrown in the mix has brought our secondary pack to 2 and 3 wide. Our lead pack is slowly going to start to drive away. They got to be careful here. These guys are going to be able to extend that gap.
I'm really curious for this pit cycle. This pit cycle is going to be the make or break for a lot of these people. You know, that lead pack, that front 5, they've got this beautiful separation, but there's a hungry group of people behind them wanting their chance to move towards the front. As we got Ryan Frank, he was on pit road. He is now exiting pit road now. Man, could you imagine somebody leading the amount of laps Sean Boundy has currently led here at Talladega? Normally, you expect it to be constant lead changes, multiple lead changes. The max laps led is maybe 10. I'm pretty sure this guy is up to 30, 40 laps led right now. Looks like the 70 car is going to be taking his way down pit road. That's going to be Mr. David Hickey. He's going to be hitting pit road right now. Almost 40 laps led by Sean Boundy. That is insane. He is going to, as of now, he has led half of this 80-lap race. You do not see that often at a super speedway. Max on the double yellow line, trying to clear his nose, trying to see if he can get a run. But even if he got a run, where was he going to go?
Unable to get any movement there as he is locked into that rear bumper. The 18 is going to push the 42 and create separation throughout that pack.
That's definitely going to hurt Max Stendo, because if those two front guys keep linking up like that and the two guys behind him definitely keep linking up, Max is the guy who's going to be looking to be cycled out. Pitting in 2 laps, Sean Boundy pitting in 2 laps, a 2-lap stint, and then he will be hitting pit road, which will have him good till the end. But if my calculations are correct, and you correct me on this, Hunter, when you can, if he is good till the end, if he pits in 2 laps, he will not be good for any green-white checkers after.
I'm not for sure what their full fuel load is, but that sounds about accurate. It also depends on any cautions, how much these guys are saving, but it's definitely going to be a close race to the end.
It's interesting how we have only the top 10 cars are on the lead lap, and Tom Ringer is there in P6, but he's separated by a lap down car from these guys around here, as well as Jerry Bergeron, he's there. Brandon Hinton, he's there. Todd Perrant, he's right up there on them as well. So we've got the top 10 all right there, but a lap car separating top 5 from the rest of the top 10.
What's going to be interesting is these guys have to pit this time. We've already heard they cannot make it on fuel. Where are these lap cars going to fall? As they stick to the bottom, is this going to block anybody out from hitting their pits?
That's going to stop them from being able to get to pit road. Sean Boundy might be able to. He safely gets down, but Albert Williams, he is unable to get to the bottom. This is going to screw his attempt to pit. He has
He's going to have to trust that the 48 is going to go, and that's going to give him the clearance. So these guys are very, very tight. Big entry. A lot of guys coming in. Everybody gets slowed down.
Oh, Max Stenda, Sean Dion, both coming in fast. Maybe another speeding penalty. Sean Dion hits his pit stall. Let's see if he has a penalty. He's taking tires. Interesting choice from Sean Dion.
42 overshot the pit box. That's going to cause him to back up as he's taking tires as well.
A lot of guys taking tires that probably shouldn't. Jamie Howell doesn't take tires, and he is going to be able to beat Sean Dion out again. Oh, 6 car now up into this group. Multiple cars together.
We're 3 wide exiting on the pits as these guys are getting back up to speed. Let's see where they cycle out.
It's currently looking at Tom Ringer, 5 wide exiting the pits. Tom Ringer takes the lead spot. Look at that group. That's basically your top 10 right there coming out of the pits together.
Now these guys got to be careful. They got to make sure they form back up and not lose this draft. You got to be very, very careful.
You also got to hope that everybody forms up into the same group as you, because if they choose to form their own group and yours is not formed, like Albert Williams going to the outside right now with the help of Sean Boundy, Jerry Bergeron, he's also going with that group. He ducks back down to the inside. This is a dicey situation here. Matthew Tennant up with that top group. Jamie Howell with that top group now. They
Top
do
line
need to keep
definitely with the momentum right here. They're going to be able to clear. Let's see how many people the 18 Albert Williams are going to try to bring with them.
They'd also have to keep in mind the 59 of Matthew Tennant is laps down. He has nothing to lose at this point. As the 42 and the 18 get that top spot, Max is going to shove Tom Ringer in that 68 around the 59. He's like, hey, I want my position back.
Jamie Howell not able to capitalize on the scramble as he's going to fall to the rear of that pack.
Matthew Tennant pokes his nose out. Remember, he is still 3 laps down, so he's kind of just playing devil's advocate right now. He's the spoiler right now.
Brandon Hinton, the leader of that second group. However, they don't have the same momentum as his front pack as they are slowly falling behind. Last time by about 2/10 slower than our lead pack.
Max is not letting up on Tom Ringer. He is shoving him every chance he gets. He wants to get closer to this lead pack. Now, Max is also in the Gen 4 playoff battle, but Max is sitting pretty, you know. Actually, let me correct myself. Max is 22 points outside of the cut line. So he's in that mode of, I need to make something happen. Oh, he gets
Lap car is
separated.
going to fall into the mix.
Lap car causes separation from Max, allows Matthew Tennant to get to the outside of Jerry Bergeron with Jamie Howell in tow. It looks like the 2 cars behind Max are going to be linked up in battles. Jamie decides to duck back down to behind Jerry. Man, where did Tom Ringer come from? He has not been in the top 5 all night, and now he's here, led a lap and everything.
If I'm willing to bet, I think Tom Ringer may have done a gas and go or a right side only stop while everybody else took 4 tires.
I honestly don't see a reason why they would take tires on super speedways. They kind of don't matter except for sliding through your pit stall. This late in the race, I think tires is probably the bad move on a lot of them. Maybe this Gen 4 car is different to where the tires actually do matter while you're racing.
.48 of Max Denda already told the 68, if you want to go, I'm going with you. So 68 getting a run here, looks to the outside, does not capitalize, as we are now 19 laps to go this time by.
You know, I'm kind of looking at the front end of that number 18 of Albert Williams. It seems like to me that there might be a slight little divot in that nose right there. Or maybe it's just the angle of reflection, but there seems like there's a slight divot. But he is holding strong on this lead. Sean Boundy is riding right behind him. Those two have worked extremely well today and have been up front 90% of this race.
59 of Matthew Tennant lost the draft of that lead pack and is now being passed by Brandon Hinton, running back in the 7th place position.
Yeah, he's stuck multiple laps down, so it's not killing him any. He's not really battling for any type of position. He definitely wishes he could have had a better night today, as he is 4th in points and wanted to kind of climb more on Jordan Tross, who is not in attendance today.
These guys continue to tick off the laps. We are now down to 17 to go. I think we're going to start seeing the everything start to pick up. I think we're going to start seeing the momentum and the pushes and everything start to get a little more rougher.
Yeah, if we look at the front group, we actually saw it for a split second there. Bounty was locked to the 18, Max was locked to the 68, and Jamie was locked to the 1. So they're all starting to think about, hey, the guy in front of me, is he worth working with? And they're now starting to figure something out, see what they could potentially do. Max is losing gap to the guys in front of him. Jamie kind of pops out to the outside. He just needs somebody to go with him, give him that nice toe, and potentially they can make something happen on the outside.
Now, who do you think is going to be the most impatient one? Who do you think is going to go first?
I'm going to have to say it's going to be Max. I think he's going to get tired of waiting on Tom Ringer to make the move, and he's going to try and make the move, and it's going to cause him to cycle out. What about you, Hunter? Who do you think is going to be the guy to make the first move?
I think it's going to have to come from either the 68 or Ringer or the 48. Those two up front are I think they're teammates, if I'm not mistaken. So I think those guys are going to stick together till the end.
They are not teammates, but they do work well together. Tom Ringer, Rat Fink, Max is rubbing racing.
No, sorry, the 18 and the 42, Albert Williams and Sean Bounty.
Ah, yes, I believe they are actually teammates. I mean, if they're not, they definitely act like they are. They have been with each other 90% of this race.
Now, something that's interesting, these guys have been working pretty well together on their fuel. Max called out over the radio, is everybody good on fuel? And no response from anybody of that lead pack.
Now, that could be two things. That's a double-edged sword. It could be nobody wants to tell him so that he can't strategize, or they are 100% not good on fuel.
Max peeked to the outside. The as a 98 of Jamie Howe wanted to go with, and then Max came back down low. 98 followed in suit. They're both ready to go. We just got to get to the right time.
Yeah, they are definitely itching to get moving. We're 15, about to be 14 laps to go. You are right, Hunter. This is when people need to start thinking about making their move. They need to start lining them up. Matthew Tennant has called it quits for the night. He is going to come home in the 21st place position, but he is 4th in points plus 35, so he will not fall out of the top 10.
Nobody quite ready to make a move. 48 looking to the outside. He's going to duck back down low in front of the 1. No change there. Looking at their last lap times of 51.3 pretty much all the way through that front pack or second pack, led by the 5 of Hinton. You got the 73 Crosby, 69 of Todd Perrant, 6 of Godfrey, and the 3 of Sean Dion, about 0.3 of a second slower. So they're definitely not catching these guys with the amount of cars they have in their pack.
Unless a caution was to come out, it seems like this lead group right here is who the decision is going to be made between.
Sounds like we are going to have a group of guys who will have to pit out of that first cycle of the people that elected to stay out.
That's going to throw these guys off, because if the leaders catch them as lap cars, that is going to play a part in the end of this race. Now we're going to talk about the points some more. Remember, Jordan Truss is our points leader. As of right now, Sean Bounty and Albert Williams are not in the top 10 or top 19. Tom Ringer is not as well. Those three positions are not playing a factor in the points. But Max Dinda is sitting 22 points outside of the cut line, while Jerry Bergeron, he is sitting in P5 in the points in front of the guys he's now competing with. Next up, out of that group, Jamie Howell, he's not in the group. Brandon Hinton, with a good finish today, could potentially be the first person to lock himself into the playoffs with a good finish today. So a lot going on. Jeff running in the back, that could hurt him in P8. Geist, it could hurt him in P9. Thomas Long, he could be potentially hurt running all the way back in 20th. So a lot of things going on here. Right now, it looks like Ryan Godfrey, who is running in P11, will jump into the top 10 if everything goes accordingly. So this is going to be an interesting one. Keep an eye on these points, guys.
Yeah, as we're only 4 races until the playoff. These guys, they're gonna try to make it above that cut line. It's you know, time to go now.
Yeah, it's do or die time. You've got to start planning properly. You've got to start planning for everything ahead. If you don't, you could potentially cost yourself now. Max is a champion of DES. He knows how it is. Sean Bounty, a road course champion in DES. Jamie Howell, also a champion. They know how to get stuff done, but only one of those names I mentioned is even in contention for this championship.
Still no movement out of this front pack. Our secondary group has now fallen to about 7.5 seconds behind our leaders. With a caution not coming out, these guys will be out of contention for the race win.
Max keeps poking his nose to that outside. He's trying to see who will go up there with him, who will take on this situation with him. But nobody seems to want to do this yet. They might be content where they're running, but Max can't be content. He's outside that playoff line. He has to keep going forward. Tom Ringer kind of made a peek there, and Max was like, oh, yeah, let's go. But then Tom Ringer pulled back down. So maybe towards 5 laps to go, we might see a change.
Max peeking up again, trying to get a run. 68 kind of shovels the fender off the nose. Not a lot of room. 68's going to stay in that bottom groove. 48 trying to find a dancing partner to go up high. Oh.
Honestly, I think if Sean Bounty is the guy to move out of line, everybody behind him will follow suit and cycle back Albert Williams, but that's a risky call. I can see why Sean Bounty is still riding where he's at currently.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, second place is one of the best places to be at the last lap during the Superspeedway.
Oh, yeah. If you can manage that draft, manage that toe that you get off the leader, second place is the greatest place to be. But third place is even better, because if second place makes a mistake, you're now the one with the toe. Man, Hunter, how many cautions have we had today? 1, correct?
1, maybe 2.
Our over-under was 7.
Ringer coming over the radio saying, when do you want to make a move?
So they're setting up. We're 7 laps to go.
Max's response, now.
They're going for it. They're going to definitely go for it. But look at the front 2 leaders. They're running a middle line to try and prevent that. But here they go. Tom Ringer to the top side. Max with him. Jerry with him. And also Jamie Howell. Oh, the 18 runs them up the track, trying to prevent the situation. 4 cars faster than 2. They pull those 2 apart, and they're going.
48's clear down. Let's see if the 98 and the 1 can link together. Oh, they're going to fall into single file. 98's going to stay high. Looks like the 42 is going to go with him.
Oh, man, it's getting dicey now. The 98 jumps into that P4 position. He's going to try and get to Jerry to try and work something out with him now. Now that Max has helped Tom Ringer get to the front, now Max has to abandon him. He has to make a decision. Does he keep pushing that 68 or does he bank on himself now? As the 18 and 42 go to the high side now, they're linked up trying to get in motion too.
Going to be a little harder for these guys as they don't have quite the capacity within their lane. 42 is going to run the bottom again, leave the 18 out on the high lane.
Looks like
48 of Max Dinda around the 68.
Gary's going with him.
On.
Jamie stacked up behind the 68 of Tom Ringer, nowhere to go. 18 links up the 1, 42 jumps up there as well. Max goes to blocks the line, gets a little dicey. 1 car to the wall, we're wrecking now. We're gonna take a quick break and then we'll come back and check out the replay of that situation and see what went down. And we are back. We are going to take a look at that replay while pit stops are going down. Hunter, give me your rundown of this situation.
Looking here at the 48 on the bottom line, you see a big run coming from the high lane. Currently sitting about a car length gap. Let's see. 48's running to the middle. He's going to go up high, kill the momentum on that. That gets the 1 car a little loose into the 68 all the way around. I mean, you know, that was just a textbook hard racing.
See, what it seemed like to me is he pulls up and the 1 car gives a nice quick lift, but he's got that 18 tucked underneath him, and it was just a recipe for disaster. There's nothing for anybody to do. And I mean, a situation like that, that's desperation. we were getting down into low laps right now. As we take a look from the perspective of Jamie Howell here real quick, he's tucked under the 68. He has no idea what's going on above him. So he's just going to keep going, keep pushing, keep pushing. He doesn't want to live. And next thing he knows, boom, the guy he's pushing just gets slapped by a car. So tough situation to be in. I mean, what do you think could have been done differently there? Because I don't think there's much.
I mean, really, it's hard to tell. We're getting down within the final 3 laps to go. These guys are trying to race hard for position. You know, it was a block and then it stacked up. There's nothing really more.
Yeah, you really can't change that situation, but this is going to definitely put us into our first of 2 green-white checkers. And now these guys have to race the way they haven't raced all race, Hunter. They've been single file. They've been managing fuel. They've been managing every single run. Now they're going to drop into the pure chaos of a green-white checkered because of the simple fact of it's Talladega, pretty much. As they are now double file, we're going to take a quick look. If my producer can do it, let's see what the lineup will look like right now for this situation. We're going to have Max Dinda leading the way with Tom Ringer, the guy he worked with to get up there in P2. Albert Williams in P3. Jamie Howell has made his way to P4. Then we have Sean Bounty, the guy who's led half the races of the race, half the laps of the race, sorry. He's going to be in P5 with John Crosby next to him. Sean Dion, a top 5 cars, is now going to be in P7. Brandon Hinton, a strong contender, second in points, needs a really good finish to lock himself in. Todd Perrant, third in points. He's going to be there too. It's going to be a really interesting one. Jerry all the way back to P10.
Yeah, we got quite a bit of cars who are now up here in contention. I mean, look at the 73 of Crosby and the 5 of Hinton. They had both lost the draft by almost 9 seconds. Now up here running 3rd and 4th on that high lane. So it's definitely going to be an interesting finish to the end.
We're about to have a lot of excitement. I expect these guys to group up really tight and prepare themselves for this green-white checkered and get ready to move on. But I do want to point out, the 18 does have damage to his rear end. So who else up there has damage? He also has a little damage to his front end. So some of those cars up there are a little hurt from that situation.
And the pace car is going to pull off. These guys are going to tighten up the field as much as they can to try to get any bit of momentum for green, white, checkered attempt number 1. Pulling here into the restart zone. 48 is going to lead us to the green flag and off to a nice jump out in front of the 68 of Tom Ringer.
Definitely going to tow Albert Williams, but he's got a massive gap while Tom Ringer has Jamie Howell and John Crosby tucked up underneath him. So he's already got the draft help. Max tries to get the block, actually is successful in it. Is Tom Ringer going to let that slide? He chooses to help Max. Jamie Howell left with just on Crosby on the outside, but now here goes Brandon Hinton.
48's going to block high. Nowhere for the 68 to go. 42 is going to now shoot the middle, and we are 4 wide. 73 to the bottom, 98 high, 48, 4 wide into turn 3.
How do you even keep track of these numbers? They're everywhere. John Crosby up to P2, Jamie Howell P3.
We settle out the 4 wide, back down to 3 and 2 wide. 48 still in the lead. 73 Crosby out of nowhere trying to shake the 48. As we are now coming to the white flag, we will finish this race under green.
Once that white flag's taken, it ends the race. Once we take the checkered flag, 73 tucks up under him. Tom Ringer now tucks up under Jamie Howell, trying to help him get position. Jamie Howell to the outside. He decides to change against it, goes down below. He's back under the 73. But Brandon Hinton with a nice push from a lot of people behind him. John Crosby's trying to separate Max. Here comes Jamie Howell to the inside.
Jamie to the inside. Max is going to block high with the 73. He's going to come low. That's going to leave the 73 with no one to help him on that outside line. 5 of Brandon Hinton has a dancing partner on that high line with the 1 of Gary Bergeron. Hinton's going to shoot 3 wide with the 73. 48's going to block low. Hinton sideways. Contact with the 1.
98 almost got sideways in the corner. Let's see if he makes a dive forward here on the outside. Tom Ringer going around. Max Dinda is going to take this Talladega win with Jamie Howell finishing P2. Sean Boundy with a beautiful P3.
What an absolute finish to the end. 4 wide in turn 3. All of this chaos going down. Jamie Howell making a fashionable appearance up in the 2nd place. John Crosby, your 3rd place finisher. Sean Bounty in 4th. Gary Bergeron in 5th. Albert Williams to 6th. 3 of Sean Dion in 7th. The 5 of Hinton sideways on the exit of turn number 4. Rounds out 8th. 69 of Todd Perrott 9th. And the 68 of Tom Ringer finishes sideways in 10th. What a finish.
Oh my gosh, that was close between Crosby and him, as we got Ryan Godfrey at P11, Jonathan Geis brings home P12, Kenneth Passmore 13th, Jeff Dinda 14th, Craig Knoll takes home 15th, David Hickey in 16th, Mark Holloway in 17th, Ryan Frank with a good start here in 18th, Richard Young 19th, Thomas Long brings home P20. Then we've got Matthew Tennant, and then the rest of the field back there finishing in their other positions. Matthew Tennant, Chris Wagner. Let's get our 3rd place finisher in here, John Crosby.
What's going on?
What a finish, man. That was crazy. 4 wide off of turn 3, coming to the white, man. I saw exactly what you were trying to do. You were trying to shake the 48. Trying to get that inside line. The 98 comes back behind you, gives a little bit of help. He gets that inside lane from you, and you somehow still manage to battle back. Walk us through that finish.
I don't know how that happened, but I think I was clear, and I probably could have got in front of him, but in my opinion, it's better to let everything kind of play out, come into the line, instead of turning myself off of him. So, but yeah, I don't know how that happened, but it did.
John, you were sitting negative 44 points below the cut line in P17. It seemed like you had just decided it was go time. I swear, you went from P whatever to P2 out of nowhere. How did you make that run before the white flag came out?
Well, really, Brandon and Todd and those guys were, I guess I was kind of working with them. My teammates didn't really have a great run this race, but I was just kind of following them because they know what they're doing, and I don't. But we got up to the front, they pit, and I was considering it, but just didn't really feel like I should have. But yeah, no, it wasn't looking very good there for a little bit until that caution came out.
All right, man, I got a bit of a curveball for you. Prior to this race, you were running in the 17th position in points, 121 points out of first. 3 races to go. You got Charlotte, Dover, and Auto Club. What's your strategy to get into this playoffs?
Don't die. These cars are, I hate these cars. And I don't know. It's just being patient, and it's still something I'm working on. So, yeah, these cars just kind of suck in my opinion, but that's here nor there. But yeah, no, I at the beginning of the season, I really didn't want to run these cars, and I really wasn't trying. I just, yeah, like I said, I don't really like them. So, but now since we're kind of climbing up the into the points, I was like, yeah, we'll give it a shot. So, hopefully the next, 3 races are good to me, but if not, no big deal. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing this. So, we'll see.
Well, once again, congratulations on that 3rd place finish, man. That was awesome finale to watch. It's always fun at Talladega. 2 cautions throughout the entire race, man. Overall, good race. So
yeah, what in the world was that all about? 2 cautions. I wasn't planning on that.
I don't think anybody was, but congrats on the P3 finish.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for broadcasting this. Appreciate it.
Of course, John Crosby, your third place finisher. We'll go ahead and get our second place finisher up in here, Jamie Howe on that 98 machine. Jamie, what a run you had there at the end. You were able to get the fender on the 73 of Crosby to get that second place position. What was your strategy to try to get around that 48?
Well, I knew Max was going to block, so once Crosby gave up the bottom just enough for me to get a nose in, I knew I had Ringer pushing me. I was just going to try not to wreck anybody and push Max because I knew he was going to block me regardless, and I wasn't going to put the bumper to him to wreck him at Dega. So,
you know, Jamie, watching you in that last two corners at this track of Talladega, you got a massive bump from Tom Ringer. And I saw that bobble and that dentin on that rear end you had. How do you control that? Because 9 times out of 10, you were wrecking. That was a wreck. But you held it. What did you do there? What was going in your mind?
I think my sphincter decided to go up to my thorax and my throat, and because I didn't expect that at all in the corner. So it just happened. You know, I didn't. When it happened, I just held the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. That's about all you could have done in that situation.
Man, that was honestly kind of a crazy finish. You know, you were at one point in the race, you were riding at the very, very back of the pack. You know,
8 seconds from getting lapped. 8 seconds. I was watching that race. I was like, oh man, I need a caution. And when she come out, I was like,
and you know, you managed to play the pit strategy, work your way back up to the field, right? And then you guys separated as a 5-car pack. Without that last caution, you know, it was gonna come down in between one of y'all. But overall, man, that was an awesome finish.
Appreciate it. Thanks for guys doing the broadcast and everything. And congrats to Max, and can't wait till tomorrow night.
Once again, congratulations to Jamie in that 98 machine, bringing home the second place finish. We'll see if we can go ahead and get our race leader up here, the 48 race winner up here, the 48 of Max Dinda.
Max Dinda, man, you came out on top. I swear, man, I've never seen somebody run P3 for so long in a race and still come out with the win. What was going through your head, Max?
Yeah, I mean, first off, big shout out to my good friend, arguably one of the best plate racers in all of iRacing, Jackson Vice. He was in my ear on those final laps, giving me tips and telling me what to do. So probably wouldn't want it without him. So big shout out to him. Yeah, it was a really tough race. You know, we just couldn't make moves because there's like an invisible air bubble that you just can't get through. So you would stay like 0.2 seconds back and you couldn't go anywhere with it. So only real thing you could do is lay back like half a second and get a run. And I did that a few times that race. So.
Yeah, I would say about 98% of this race was led between you and the 48 of Sean Boundy, man. Walk us through some of those battles with him and, you know, what your strategy was. You guys were kind of working together there towards the end or towards the middle of the race. And then once it got towards the end, you know, the radios got a little quiet and it seemed like the pace kind of picked up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any real teammates. I was really on my own. Whenever I made a move, people didn't really go with me. So that's kind of expected. But, you know, I was messaging Tom and telling him what to do and helping him guide to make that move. And we made that move with like 7 to go, and we cleared them. So I knew if I was in second, I could get the lead at any point I wanted to. So, yeah, it was really all about that timing and getting that run.
Now, Max, this is one thing I want to point out. Let's talk about some points, all right? You were sitting minus 22 below the cut line to Thomas Long, who was plus 14 above the cut line. Based off your finishes today, where you finished and where he did, that will put you unofficially, this is just my measurement of it, it'll put you into that 10th place position. What is going to be your game plan going into the next 3 races to maintain your position in the playoffs or get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, last 2 or 3 weeks I wrecked out, so it's really all about me and not knowing how to drive this car right. So I'm learning it just like everybody else. It's a really tricky car to drive. So I just really got to keep my nose clean the next 3 weeks and get some points, and I'll be able to make it.
Well, once again, Max, congratulations on that race win, man. That was a nail biter all the way down to the end. It was awesome to see you come out victorious here tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Edwin, to wrap things up, that was overall, it was in the center, the beginning and the center of the race, a lot of single file guys trying to figure out how they could make these moves, man. These last 20 laps was just an absolute nail biter. These guys fighting for every single inch and position that they could get. So, wow, what a finish, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, it was insane. I thought this was going to finish under green and we were not going to have green, white, checkered, but due to that block at the end and just that racing incident, it kind of changed the entire atmosphere of the race. I mean, I thought these guys couldn't do the stuff they did at the end, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're being surprised by it. Out of 80 laps, we had 6 laps under caution, just 2 cautions the whole night. Absolutely amazing race, Hunter.
Until next time, see ya.
See ya.